welcome to my channel for another video today. Sorry if I look really shiny, I apologize. It is very hot in here where I film and I don't want to turn the aircon on because it'll make like a whirling sound and there's already construction going on if you can hear it, but we're just dealing with it. So let's just get straight into it. So today we're going to be doing yet another unsolved case. It is the disappearance of Suzy Lamplugh. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Before we start, I just want to say anyone mentioned in this video or spoken about, I mean no disrespect at all. I'm simply just compiling all the information that I've found on the internet and different sources all together into one video. So, Suzy Lamplugh was a 25-year-old real estate agent born on the 3rd of May, 1961 in England. So, there's not really too much of a backstory, so we're kind of just jumping straight into like what happened sort of thing. So, at 12:40 p.m. on July 28th, 1986, Suzy left her work office, taking her house keys, her car keys, her purse with £15 and her credit cards. But she left her handbag behind. 10 minutes later, at about 12:50, she was seen at a property on Shorrolds Road, Fulham. Again, sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. At 1 p.m, witnesses say they saw her with a really kind of upkept man, suit and tie, really well dressed, very handsome looking. And then some sources say they were arguing. Some say he was there with a bottle of champagne. Some say they were just talking, so it's kind of like all mixed information. But then they were later seen leaving the property. Some say walking away, some say they got in the car and drove away, but they were seen leaving the property together. Later on that night, Suzy hadn't returned to her office and she hadn't been heard from by anyone. Her manager did contact her mother, Diana, but still she hadn't heard from her either. So her work colleagues decided to check her work diary just to see what she had on that day, what she was getting up to, who she was meeting with, and things like that. And they saw that she had wrote down in her diary that she was showing this property to Mr. Kipper at 12:45 p.m. But he was not known to anybody else at the agency and there was no contact number for him, which was kind of strange because if you're showing someone a property, I don't know, in my mind, if you're showing someone a property, you kind of like get their contact number. So if they don't show up or you're running late or something, you can call up or so. I don't know. So then at 6:45 p.m. that night, Suzy's manager reported her missing to police. And just after 10 p.m. that night, Suzy's car was discovered by police about a mile away from the office on Stevenage Road in Fulham. So it all looked fine. There was no fingerprints that were unaccounted for. Her front door was unlocked, the handbrake was off, and her purse was in the glove box or glove compartment. But her ignition key for her car was missing. So if it was a robbery, you'd think that they would take the purse because it did have money in it. Not a lot, but it had money in it, had her credit cards in it. You'd think that if it was a robbery, they would take it. But so fast track now, Diana and Paul, Suzy's parents, appeared on some TV shows, doing some interviews and things like that. And as the media coverage started to build up on this case, Diana and Paul started to receive heaps of letters from people they did know, like praying for them and wishing them that they would find her and things like that. And then also from people that they didn't know. And then on the 4th of August, 1 week since Suzy had been missing, Diana appeared on TV again, but this time saying that she's starting to believe that her daughter may be dead. So then police started to look into the one and only suspect really, John Cannon. And he was living in a day release hostel in London, which a day release is like where they get to go out and do whatever they want during the day pretty much. Like they can socialize, they can, you know, go to events, they can go to movies, they can go to dinner, or they can go on dates, they can do whatever they want, but they need to be back there at like a certain time and they get locked in for the night. Now, Cannon was coming to the end of his 8-year sentence for rape and robbery. He was staying in this hostel to kind of, I guess, slowly rehabilitate into the public. I don't know, I'm not really sure on that side of things. Cannon looked a lot like the witness's sketch of the person that the witness had seen talking to Suzy, this Mr. Kipper. But it took police a year to look into it because they had received over 20,000 tips and leads on this case. So they were looking into all of them first before they came along this one. According to John's cellmates and workmates, he was a very charming man, and his nickname in prison was also Kipper. And Suzy's parents believed that she was being stalked not long before her disappearance, as Suzy kept telling her parents that there was a strange man and he kept giving her flowers and things like that and following her around. So her parents either believed that this was John Cannon or someone else. Now, police think, like, one of their theories is that John Cannon and Suzy were actually dating, either officially or it was just like a little fling thing, and that maybe he was abusive towards her and that maybe she was getting a bit scared of him and didn't really want to be around him. So he called her to look at a property and used a fake name to get her out of the office sort of thing and come and meet him. Years later, John was arrested for robbing and raping again women in a clothing store. They went and searched his apartment because of this, and they then found a tiny piece of paper that linked him to another case, the Shirley Banks case, which was a disappearance and now murder. In 1994, Suzy was assumed murdered and she was illegally declared dead. In 2000, the case was reopened again because police tracked down a car that they thought could have been used to kidnap her. But as far as I know, nothing became of this, and it was kind of just like another dead-end lead. Over the years, police have still been searching for Suzy's body, even excavating several sites, but still they haven't found anything. And then sadly, in 2011, Diana, Suzy's mother, passed away. And that's it for this one, guys. Sorry, I know it was a very short case, but I kind of found it interesting and I wanted to hear what you guys thought down in the comments. What do you think happened to her? Did she maybe, I don't know, just disappear? Like, did she go missing herself and go start a new life somewhere? Did she get kidnapped? Is she murdered? Is she out there somewhere? I really, don't know with this one. There's so many different theories that you could link with it, with pretty much no evidence at all. It's kind of like anything's in the air about it sort of thing. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below with some of your theories and some videos that you would like to see in the future. I'm thinking maybe in the next coming months I might do a set thing for each month. So whether it's Unsolved for the whole month or abduction or things to do with that month. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still kind of working out and seeing what's going to work and what's going to be interesting. But thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week.
He wore blue velvet, bluer than velvet was the night.